What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Big up to everyone locked in. Apologies, I was late. I had to delay the show. I'm sure most of you guys were in the OGs chat anyway. We did the OGs, me and Turkish today, and there was a lot to talk about, and we had to go a bit longer with that show. Apologies for the microphone problems. We will have that sorted for next week. But yeah, big up to everyone. Hope you're well. Arsenal are signing a player, people. We're signing a player. But in true Arsenal fashion, he's not signing for us now, people. So what are we going to do about that, people? We need players now, and we're signing players for the summer. Like when... Yeah, we were moving like unks for real. When somebody rings you and says like, yo, we're going to go on this holiday or we're going to this concert and it's like January and the concert's in like July or they're going on holiday in August. And you're like, what? How much money? Yeah, we want, you need £900 for the holiday. You're like, bro, you want me to pay £900 and I'm not going till August? It feels like I'm not even paying for nothing. But... listen, we're going to go into more detail. I think in isolation, it's a good signing, but it can't fix the problems that we've got now. It feels very Arsenal. It feels very PR. We're in a mess. The fans are angry. Announce a summer signing to distract them from what is truly going on at the moment. It just feels really Arsenal. It feels like a player that we could have signed sooner, but... we're going to talk about it and I'll get your thoughts and opinions, people. Big up to everyone in the chat. Typical Arsenal fashion. We're desperate for a striker. We sign another number 6. Didn't we? Haven't we got Thomas Partey and Declan Rice? What this would probably indicate is that Jorginho and maybe Thomas Partey are on their way out of the football club. I just don't see why. If you've got Rice and you've got Partey, why would you spend 51 million on a 6? Jorginho, I think we know, is definitely on his way out. He's already been linked with a move back to Brazil, where he's originally from. So he looks like he could be on his way. There was talk of him staying and doing his coaching badges, but it looks as if they will extend his stay. And then you've got a situation with Thomas Partey, who I think, despite having a very good season, I think the club are going to move him on. I just think the fact they've allowed him to go into January, where he can actually sign a pre-contract with another club outside of the Premier League, I think that indicates they're going to let him go. Partey's also on 200 grand a week. And Arsenal maybe will use this as an opportunity to clear some wages. Jorginho's on 120 grand a week and Partey's on 320 grand a week off the wage bill to get those two out. Would probably make some sense. But Partey is going to be hard to replace. He's having a very good season, but sometimes you got to be careful with players in good form, giving them new contracts on big money, and he is in his 30s. Just to give you a bit of perspective, people, Zubimendi earns £48,000 a week. Arsenal could easily drop 90 grand, 100 grand on him. 100 grand is what we've paid players like Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah. So he doesn't need to get a massive wage to convince him to come to the football club. A lot of Arsenal fans celebrating online, trolling Liverpool. And listen, I'm all for banter. Banter your rival fans. It's a huge part of football, of course. Zubi dooby doo, where are you? And all that stuff that was happening in the summer when Liverpool thought they were getting him. But then do we know if Liverpool still want him? They got Gravenberch in the 10 role now, But listen, in isolation, good signing, but the wrong time. My opinion of Zubimendi, by the way, my opinion of Zubimendi as a player, I think he's a very talented number 6, very good on the ball. My thing with Zubimendi has always been, how does he adapt to the Premier League? For a 6, he's not very built, he's not very big. It's got that Fabio Vieira sort of build, maybe a little bit bigger. I always think to play in the middle and midfield in the Premier League, if you're not physically that strong, you've got to be exceptional on the ball. Look at small, lightweight centre midfielders, not necessarily number 10s. Number 10s are a little bit different. They kind of float between the lines a little bit. If you're looking at midfielders who actually play in midfield, you're looking at Santi Cazorla, you're looking at and N'Golo Kante. If you're looking at those two profiles, Cazorla was a genius on the ball. Kante was the ultimate hunt you down, win the ball player. To be small, play centre mid in the Premier League and also be lightweight, you've got to be outstanding on the ball. Torreira, we all hyped him up. He faded the year after. And we've seen other players. People saying Zola, but Zola was a 10. David Silva was a 10. They're incredible. Modric, Xavi, Iniesta didn't really... I mean, Modric got better when he left the Premier League. Xavi and Iniesta didn't play in the Premier League. So I'm always intrigued when you sign a small, lightweight centre midfielder and put him in the Premier League. You're going to have to be very, very good on the ball. Because this ain't Spain. People will clamp you in the Premier League. Yeah, you'll be rolling all over the floor. So I hope Zubimendi is more Santi Cazorla and a lot less Fabio Vieira. You know, that's what I'm saying. Marcel said, I don't care who Arsenal sign as long as Arteta is still at the helm. I don't blame you. If I was at Op, I'd probably think the same. Zubi inverted right back. Yeah, he'll probably end up there. I want to ask people in the comments. I've seen Zubimendi play 4 or 5 times live. Sociedad a few times in the Champions League last season. Couple times in the league. Couple times for Spain. So probably 6, 7 times in terms of 90 minutes. So I reckon there's probably people in the chat who are more informed on him than I am. So I'm asking you guys, anybody that watches a lot of La Liga, how good is he? I'm with you, Dynamite. In the Euros final, he was outstanding. I actually thought, wow, go and get him, don't get Marino. His numbers don't look great. He's a 6. It's a waste of time looking at the goals and assists. He's not that player. He doesn't score a lot. He's a 6. He's going to sit in front of the back 4 and try and dictate the game. How good is he? Is my question. And do you think he can adapt to the Premier League's physicality? Also, what happens to Declan Rice? Double pivot, allow Rice to get forward a little bit more. Zubimendi's the deep 6. I think that's what you've got to do. Don't put this label on Rice that you're the 6, you're the 8, and we need you to get forward. And because I just don't think he's got that side in his game yet. Yandy said he's amazing. As a Barca fan, we wanted him, but now we've got Casado. Zubi is very lightweight, but I said the same thing about Isak, and apart from his injury problems, he's balling out. Fair enough. AMSN said on the ball, Zubimendi is great. I hope it's a double pivot, said WW7. South London's finest, Fabian Ruiz and Olmo looked good in the Euros, and we ended up with Marino. 2 players that apparently Fabian Ruiz was available. Olmo left, and we signed Marino. I think Arteta was obsessed with this. Everybody we sign, he wants them to be massive. You know, he wanted Sesko. He got Calafiori, who's reasonably tall. He got Marino, who's tall. He signed Havertz. He wants us to be land of the giants. So Nicolas Jova looks great when we're scoring all these headers from their crosses, you know. Highbury's local badger said, don't give Arteta a dime. Sack him now. Get us an elite Champions League winning manager, elite CEO, and an elite sporting director. If not, Mickey Mouse and Penfold, a.k.a. Stan and Son, can sell the club and jog on. Strong words, bro. Vincent, Curtis, yes, the Zubimendi signing is promising. Can we get Vlahovic and David on loan with an option to buy if we either win the league or finish second? But to do it right now, thoughts? Well, keep the powder dry. I'm going to speak about the striker market. And we are being linked with some strikers. Will it happen, though? Sociedad are the new Chelsea. Remember, that's now, I think, Monreal. Did we buy Monreal from there or we sold him there? Kieran Tierney, we loaned there. We've signed Marino from them. We've signed Zubimendi from them. And we got Odegaard from a loan from them. So, yeah, that's our new feeder club. Deitch has left Everton. Should Luton Town go for him? Well, Luton Town have just appointed the Wickham manager. So, Deitch, you won't be there. I won't be going to Luton, mate. I can confirm it. I won't. I'm off for the pub tonight, mate. I'm thinking 10 pints of glass. That should sort me out tonight. So I won't be taking the Luton job. Tashik said, this club is pure pain, but at least we have the king of information and entertainment to dull it a bit. Thanks for keeping it real. Big C, big up yourself. And he's gifted a membership to the community. Dotty Big said, PR Arsenal strikes again. This means we misprofiled Declan Rice. Sorry, Big C. 5 years in, we still need the same players we needed 5 years ago. Right wing, an 8, a striker, and a left back. Somebody put out a tweet, and it was something that I was saying. He was saying the best goalkeeper that we've had in Arteta's time is Emi Martinez. Arteta sold him. The best centre-back is Saliba. He never signed him. The best left-back is Tierney. He's going to bin him to Celtic for nothing. The best striker was Aubameyang, and he binned him. And the best winger is Saka, and he came through the system under Unai Emery. So you're right. I would be asking serious questions. I would be saying, if I was the ownership, you spent 105 million on Declan Rice. I thought the 6 position was sorted. Why are you coming to me asking me for 51 million for a 6 when I gave you 105 million for a 6 18 months ago? It's crazy. In some of the positions, we've signed multiple players and still not fixed that position. I'm still not convinced that we have a left back that leads us to the title. Luis Skelly is a natural midfielder. Calafiori is a centre-back. I'd be going for Nuno Mendes or Theo Hernandez or somebody like that in the summer. We still don't have a left-back that I look at as a title-winning left-back. We've signed Thomas Partey. We've signed Declan Rice. We've signed Jorginho. Now we're going to sign Zubimendi in the 6 role, you know? So what happens to Declan Rice? Are we going to turn him into the left 8? It's interesting. It is interesting. Let's get into the story and break it down. Let me read out these final 2 super chats. M said was here for the Daily Dusan in 2022. He rejected us. Then now Juve don't want him. We are here to clean their bins. Our recruitment stinks. Do you know what, though? I'll be totally honest. I will speak about Dusan later on in the show. I think sometimes football is so brutal and cutthroat that we can't even be angry that Dusan didn't want to join us in 2022. That was the season when we just finished 5th, missed out to Tottenham on Champions League football. He had an opportunity to go to Juventus, who were winning titles. Take away the emotion of supporting Arsenal, they were the better deal for him than us. He also said he dreamed of playing for Juventus, and that was the club that he loved growing up. So we can't really be mad at that. I'm sure players have probably signed for Arsenal who've rejected us and then come to us when we're in a better situation. Sometimes as a fan, we cloud our emotion. Dusan didn't want to play for us in 2022. Now we're willing to take him and he's willing to come to us. I have no problem with that. My problem is Dusan Vlahovic even good enough to play for Arsenal? My thing is, Vlahovic then was on fire at Fiorentina and it looked like he was going to be a world beater. What I've seen of him at Juventus, I'm not even convinced that that's the guy we should be going for. That's my problem. He'll probably join us. I'm not sure whether we should even be going for him. When I've seen him for Juventus, I'm not convinced by him, I'll be honest. I think there's better strikers available than him, especially considering the price that he's going to cost. Lamine said, our club are moving like the Barksdales. We need a Slim Charles at our club. The thing about the old days, that's the old days. We need to be more like Marlowe Stamp, that bricks, and buy a striker. People were talking about in the last one, where like in the show I did with Turkish, they said we're moving like Philadelphia 76ers, you know. Had all that history, Iverson and all that. Now it's Joel Embiid, and look at the state of Philly and that basketball team. And we're kind of doing something similar. Oh, we're going to win the NBA championships with Embiid. And then you're like, actually, you're not. He's injured all the time and he's not the clutch player you thought he was. Your £105 million player shouldn't be getting moved into a position and trying to turn him into a different player. He either was the 6 you wanted or he was the 6 you didn't need and you shouldn't have bought him. But you're not that guy, Dusan. You're not that guy, says Elliot. Embiid invented, trust the process. Yeah. Let's talk about it. News broke earlier. I put out a pre-recorded video if you want to watch that after, a little bit more information regarding that. It was breaking news earlier on. Sami Mokbel broke the exclusive in the Daily Mail. Arsenal are to land Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi at the end of the season. The full details are that he's already agreed the personal terms and he's on £48,000 a week. So very easy business for Arsenal. Could easily give him 100 grand a week. And let's be honest, if we look at this, Zubimendi rejected Arsenal 18 months ago. He said, I want to stay at Sociedad. He was on the verge of joining Liverpool last summer, so we can say the same thing here. Zubimendi was going to go to Liverpool. The heartstrings stopped him from going there. So, yeah, it is what it is. According to the report, what's very interesting about this is that Arsenal wanted the deal now. They wanted to sign Martin Zubimendi right now. Embiid's an Arsenal fan. There you go. It works perfectly. Let's look at the facts. Arsenal wanted to sign Zubimendi right now for £51 million, which tells us all that Arsenal have at least £51 million to spend in this window. So what is going on with the money? If you were willing to pay 51 million for a 6 in the January window when we've got Partey and Rice, why the hell are you not spending 50 million plus on a striker or a winger, where we're actually in crisis in those positions? This is what I don't understand with Arsenal. Everything Arsenal do seems to not make sense. Manchester City sold Alvarez in the summer. They've ran with Haaland. Haaland's one of the best goal scorers on the planet. And City are going to spend 60 million to get Mamouche as a backup striker. One of the most informed strikers in Europe. Now, whether he's good enough or not, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. But City are spending £60 million on a backup striker. We are desperate for a striker, and we are prepared to have spent 51 million on a 6 in January. How on earth does that make sense? Now, Zubimendi might come to the club in the summer, be the new Santi Cazorla, balling out. We sit there and go, what a player. We're so happy we got him. 51 million, 25 years of age, great business. What about now? It's winter. It's cold. It's January. Don't buy me swim shorts in January and tell me we're going Miami in the summer. Right now I'm cold. I need a woolly hat. I need gloves and I need a thick jacket. We need a striker. We're out here trying to buy a 6 for 51 million. So if you're getting Zubimendi in the summer, there's no excuse. Because guess what? PSR results were revealed. Premier League today. Guess what? Not one team in the Premier League got fined. But I thought all these clubs were running the risk of being fined by PSR. Even Leicester got out of it. And everyone's been saying Leicester are going to get done. Leicester have done all kinds of madness. They're going to get points deducted. Even Leicester got out of it. PSR is the new buzzword, people. It's the new buzzword. It's an escape mechanism for these clubs. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying they're exaggerating how bad it is. We can't buy players because of PSR. Well, not one club in the league's been done by it. And yet, other clubs have spent way more money than us. So, listen, in isolation, Zubimendi looks a very talented player. We all saw that Euros final. He came on for Rodri. He was outstanding. And I looked at him that day and thought, boy, no wonder Liverpool are going for him. He might be better than I thought. My only question mark is he looks very slight physically. Can he adapt to the Premier League? This ain't La Liga. Yeah, you go away from home to some of them lower teams. You go Everton away. Them team, they'll kick you all over the pitch. You've got to be exceptional on the ball to deal with that. So, listen. My thing is this. Arsenal, good. But talk to me about this in the summer. June the 1st, talk to me about Zubimendi. At this point, I'm not that interested in Zubimendi signing for Arsenal. As Arsenal fans, we constantly talk about what's going to happen next. You know, you watch them game shows and they show you a video and they say, what do you think happened next? And you have to guess. I think that guy's going to trip over and blah, blah, blah. What happened next? This is like a game show. Arsenal need a striker and a winger now. The window's open. We've got the money. PSR didn't bother us. Sign a striker or a winger right now. And Arsenal are going, you know, we'll see if we can do something, but let's get the 6 for the summer. We're not interested in what you're going to do next season. We've been hearing this for 20 years. We moved here to the Emirates to compete with Bayern and financially compete with Man United. And this, to me, is a distraction tactic. If Arsenal knew this deal was in the bag, Arsenal have leaked this to Sami Mokbel. Said, listen, got an exclusive for you. Arsenal, we've just tied up the deal for Zubimendi. Leaked that out. take everyone's mind off the fact that we've just drawn to Brighton, lost to Newcastle and lost to Man United in the space of 7 days. And we've got Tottenham and Aston Villa this week. So Zubimendi buys them 24 hours, people. Because today I'm making videos, I'm talking about Zubimendi. You go on Twitter, everyone's talking about Zubimendi. And listen, Arsenal fans should be happy if we're signing a player, especially if you rate him. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend I'm an expert on him. He looked good when I've watched him. Can he adapt to the Premier League is my question. But we know what they're doing. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. We know this game now because we've seen it happen time and time again. You're leaking a summer transfer on the 14th of January when we're falling out the title race. We're on the verge of falling out of the Carabao Cup and we lost to Man United on the weekend with 10 men. We know now. You can't play them games with us anymore. Some of them online, they're getting all giddy and hysterical. Oh, Liverpool missed out and Zooby-Dooby-Doo song and all that. We're in no position to laugh at them. They're probably going to win the league title. I'd rather miss out on a signing and win the league than get a player and not win the league. So it's not enough. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, it's not enough. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. I might turn the TV off tomorrow night if we're not beating Tottenham. Above and Beyond said 7 out of 31 successors. Why trust him with signings now? I think one thing is abundantly clear, people. Abundantly clear. Arteta's going nowhere. He's going absolutely nowhere. I can come on this show, do Arteta out shows, Arsenal therapy. I can do anything. This manager will be our manager next season. Simple as that. Unless we finish 10th or something stupid. He's going to be there. Simple as that. He will be the manager. He's signing players for next season. We spoke about it on the OGs. They gave him 200 odd million at the start of last summer. Right? And I think that was go and win the league. We didn't win it. I think this summer they went, it's going to have to be a tighter summer. You're going to get 70 odd million to spend. But what we're going to do, we're going to give you one of the biggest contracts in world football because he's doing an unbelievable job PR-wise. No one's talking about the Kroenkes, really. They're painting Josh outside the stadium. The merch is going through the roof. I hold my hands up. I always say self-awareness is very important. I buy the merch, especially when we go on tour. I get hyped. Summertime, sunshine. I'm buying merch. I might even have to look at myself, people. Self-awareness is very important. I might even have to look at myself as a fan and say, you're saying Kroenke out but buying training kit. Maybe you've got to stop buying training kit. I share a season ticket. Maybe I've got to call him and say, listen, the next 5 games, I don't want you or me going to that game. I want that seat empty. But it has to be a collective effort. It has to be a collective. That's the only way you'll get action out of this ownership. And the merch is nice. I don't actually like the kits that much this season. I only bought the home kit. But the training kits are banging. I'm not going to lie. But I'm being honest. We got to look at ourselves as well and say, well, can we do anything about it? But that's it. Yeah, it's true. The seats need to be empty. I'm telling you, that would hit home. But we got a big game of football tomorrow that we need to win. But listen, Zubimendi will be in the summer, and that is not doing the job for me. It's not enough. Dun, dun, dun. It's not enough. Sign Zubimendi, but it's not enough. I'm not going to remix the song. I was trying to, but the lyrics weren't flowing. I'm still in a bit of a... I'm in a bad mood with Arsenal still, so I can't get the lyrics out. I thought I could have got a remix out there, but I can't. Anyway. Don't worry, people. He's on a plane. Josh has remembered that his dad owns a football team. And he's decided he's going to fly into London. Josh Kroenke will be in attendance as Arsenal take on Tottenham on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, North London derby. Josh is turning up. Imagine when he sees that we've painted him outside the stadium. Hi, Dad. You okay? How's your kids training today? Oh, good. Big game of the weekend. Yeah, can you believe it? They got a painting of me on the wall. I don't even like these guys. You don't even give them any money. They've painted me. And there's some dog here at the training ground. Hey, guys, be excited. Yeah, they called the dog win, but they ain't win nothing yet. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, good luck to the Nuggets this weekend. Big game. These guys painting me, dog. How did I end up saying... Yeah, listen, forget it. The accent went a bit crazy, didn't it? Bear with me. My American brothers and sisters, I apologize, man. Started off somewhere in New York, ended up in Leicester. You know, I don't know what happened then. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I was trying to say, people. This guy's flying in. We've painted him. What's he done? We ain't won nothing. I tell you something, bro. You better have the American Express card with you and the checkbook. You better come here to write some checks. Don't be just waving at the fans. You better write some checks, bro. 2 of them. I told you we need 2. 2 signings in this window. Rams won yesterday, stands in a happy mood, sends the son to the Emirates. He better be in a good mood to sign checks, bro. I'm telling you. I thought my stream changed. Bro, the accent just got further and further away from me. That was a playoffs game, wasn't it? Yesterday. Curtis, you're the man of the people on YouTube. Much love, brother, from Melbourne, Australia. Big up. We worldwide, people. We worldwide. Big up yourselves, man. C-Unit business. Appreciate the support, as always. I wonder what he's flying in for. Is it an emergency meeting? Things are going wrong. I need sign-ins. Come and help me. Does he do this every January? Surely it's, I'm coming here to help you. You know, it has to be. SLD said, I nearly unsubscribed for the accent. Oh, man. I better be careful with that. I'll tread carefully in future, people. But yeah, just bring the checkbook. Big up SC Gooner, who's gifted 5 memberships to the community. Big up your damn selves, bro. Welcome to the 5 new members as well. Membership business, people. White Glove said, my missus ordered merch for me for Christmas. Club cancelled it on back order. She sent me the thing to reorder the other day. I said, thanks, but nope. Don't blame you. You say, oh, actually, I'll take the cash. Found some cash, said, time for your channel to blow up, bro. Club doesn't want to win trophies, so why not get success through this? Fan base coming around. Do you know what? I said the other day, and I'll be totally honest with this, and some people wouldn't even say this online. But I'm going to say it because I like to be open and honest to the community. If you lose a big game, your views go through the roof. You get a short spike, right? The content for the next couple of days will be massive. But obviously, I would rather Arsenal have a long cup run. If we'd have beat Man United, the views might not have been as big, but we could have potentially got to the final. So you've actually took 4 or 5 watch-alongs off my channel. I've now got to the point with Arsenal, and I said this the other day, people. I'm keeping it 100, right? I'm not going to lie to nobody. When I come off streams now, I take a little moment and I think, what can you do about it? What can I do if this guy wants to play Havertz up front and this guy don't want to sign a striker? What can I do ultimately to affect it? Yeah, maybe try and organise a protest. But let's be honest, 70-80% of the fan base think this manager's generational. Reality of the situation, if there's views to get, I'm going to get them. Simple as that. I'll be selfish, try and look after myself. And that sounds brutal. I'm an Arsenal fan. I love the club. I'm invested in the club emotionally. I put my time in. But what are they giving us back as a fan base? I said this the other day. I'm becoming very carefree about this football club. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, oh, they lost. Okay, what? So what? I can't do nothing about it. They're not bothered, so why should I be bothered? You know, I'm at the point now, like I said, I share a season ticket. I want to tell the guy, listen, let's just leave that ticket, leave that seat empty for the next 10 games. What's the point? We're living in a real world, people. Electricity is going through the roof. Gas and electric's mad. Petrol's going up. It's wild. I'm being real. I'm disconnecting with the club at the moment. It's painful. I'm being totally honest with you. And like I said, not everyone would even tell you this on a stream because it sounds a little bit bad. Oh, you're trying to benefit from... No, I'm not trying to benefit from the club. I want this club to win every piece of silverware, but they don't look like they care. So what if the owner don't care? The manager's getting £15 million a season to not win anything. So what the hell? I'm going to try and look after myself and my kids. So there's only so much we can do, people. Big up Lee for the raid, man. People saying Liam Rant's raid. Big up yourselves, man. Bless up. I sent a raid over there the other day, so I now know about the redirect. So, we're going to send people about. Big up yourselves, man. Welcome to the people who are just joining. Only so much you can do as a fan, people. There's people who message me and say, yo, I had plans this night. Arsenal lost and they've ruined my weekend. Don't let Arsenal ruin your weekend. They don't deserve it. It's difficult. It's difficult not to. But that's what you have to do. You have to care a little bit less. You remember when you was younger, people, sometimes when you chased a girl too much, she pulled away. You're messaging her all the time, ringing her all the time. She knows, she knows she's got you. So sometimes, what's this girl, man? She ain't texting me back. Them girls that you just, I'll message her back tomorrow, man. Them girls start going crazy, right? Because they can't understand. How come this guy ain't going wild trying to get the gal? And the gal go, them girls go crazy. That's what you got to do sometimes, people. Don't worry about this club. Leave them. And when you run into them and watch the game, turn the game off, disconnect. The game is the game. I'm giving out free life advice here, people. The ones you show less, effort towards, they're the ones, not all the time, by the way, and not as you get older. When you get older, you got to handle your business properly and start bringing out romance and stuff. But when you're younger, BlackBerry Messenger days. I'll message her back tomorrow. That girl's going crazy because she can't understand. But anyway, let me not get too caught up. Josh is at the game tomorrow night anyway. Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait, mate. George said the problem is the majority of the fan base act as if they are shareholders. Yep. They're bothered about us spending. We can't spend money. What about PSR? PSR has not affected any football club this year in the Premier League. Yet we were all running scared of it. Oh, Newcastle are going to sell Bruno Guimaraes to balance the books. No, they sold Elliot Anderson to Forest. They didn't sell Bruno. They didn't sell Isak. Yeah? And like I said to Turkish on the OGs, Josh should have been here 2 months ago, bro. Why are you flying here? Why are you flying out on the 14th of January? The window's been open for 2 weeks. You should have been here in November, sorting out January. But you're flying in now because you can see the money might be affected. Bro, the way we're playing, we might not get Champions League, so these guys are worrying. Rams have just won. They're good. Stan said, Josh, go over there and sort out that team, will you? Just give Mikel what he wants and fly back. We got business to handle. Your accent went like Arsenal's title hopes. I respect it. It was an inverted accent. It didn't really go the way I thought. Aidan said, why is news that our owner will go to the North London derby? That should be the norm. Did you ever hear Chelsea fans say, oh, Abramovich will be at the game tomorrow? No, you didn't, because he was at most big games because he actually cared. You know what I mean? But our owner, it's headline news that he's coming to watch us. We're supposed to be grateful. Curtis Defo ignores his gal on Texas. I'm older now. I'm more mature. You have to, as you grow, you have to start being, showing more effort. But when you're younger and you're in your prime, let them chase you, people. But, you got to have something worth chasing. That's the question. But anyway, let me not get into that. I'll be on stream for 4 hours if I start going down that route. And they'll probably ban me off YouTube as well. But anyway, did you see the clip of Flex and KG doing accents? They nailed it. Some of the accents that they were doing. Expressions, KG, Flex, these guys, culture cams, them man, they really, they really went to town on Arsenal fans this weekend. But the game's the game. We had to take it. Ab Barney said, Arsenal PR top, drop points, and then promise a big signing. You know how the game goes, bro. Gibbs said, C, my sister likes you. She said, can you tell C to come to Zimbabwe so that she can help you take your mind off Arteta and Havertz? Hey, listen, man, I'm not available, people. Relax. Tell your sister I said hello. I appreciate the support. But yeah, I'm not on the market, people. But, I'll take a compliment. As you get older, you got to know that the cocoa butter and I'm drinking Fiji water here. You know what I mean? I'm working hard to, to keep the skin looking fresh. But we'll take the compliment, respect, as Mourinho once said. Jay Dizzle said, I never lost it, people. I knew it was still there somewhere, I knew I still had it. Anyway, Jay Dizzle, Arteta ain't going. So do you think appointing an experienced sporting director who's willing to challenge Mikel, that's the only way I see it working. He's going to hire one of his mates, bro. You ain't getting no one that's going to challenge him. Yeah, simple as that. It's going to be either Jason Ato, either Thomas Rosicky, or Alarbi. Is it Alarbi? Yeah, from Sociedad. Jobs for the boys, man. Curtis release clause 150. Yo, relax, man. Relax. Riz without Rizzing. Well, let me not say too much. Anyway, Michael said PR machine in motion for Kroenke. Portfolio FC. Exactly. Quick, lads, they're going mad. Announce a signing. It's not till the summer, though. Come on, man. Anyway, let's get him off the screen. I don't even want Josh on the screen. I told him in the summer, get us a Jokic, and the guy got us Marino. I mean, you're taking the mick. You're actually taking the mick out of me now. Did he not understand what I meant when I said get us a Jokic? I meant get us a game changer, a top player. You know what I mean? Jeez, man. Such a PR signing. You're right, RSPB. Absolute PR merchant signing. Quick, lads, they're going mad. Announce a summer signing to calm everyone down. No, not me. You can't get me excited with that. I'm sorry. That doesn't work. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on. We've got a lot to talk about. There is a lot of transfer news. How much of it is true? I don't know. But, let's talk about Gabriel Jesus. It looks like it's going to be confirmed. Even Sky running with it now. Gabriel Jesus, suspected ACL injury. Now, it's very sad for a number of reasons. As I said, it's one of the worst injuries you can do in football. He'd just come out of a bit of a purple patch, although it looked like it was fading. And from a purely selfish point of view as an Arsenal fan, you're looking 6 to 9 months. They're actually saying it could be ruptured. You could be looking at 9 to 12 months. He will be here next season. There's no way Arsenal can sell him in the summer. Unless it's best case scenario, 6 months. Maybe he comes back June, July and you sell him. But who's going to sign a player a month after an ACL injury? Jesus going to be at the football club next season. So even from an Arsenal point of view, it's very damaging. I'm very sad for him. He did his MCL in the right knee, which is the medials, which kept him out for 3 to 4 months. This is the ACL in the other knee. So his knees are mashed up, people, by the time he comes back. MCL in one knee, ACL in the other. I mean, that is jogger finito, as people are saying in the comments. I feel very sad for him. I feel sad for Arsenal. I feel sorry for the fans. All of it. That deal has been a complete and utter disaster. Disaster. First 6 months looked a player. Injured for Brazil. Never reached that level again, has he? And now we've got a player on our hands that we're going to struggle to get rid of. We're going to struggle to sell him. Who's going to sign a player on 250 grand a week with 2 major knee injuries? You just don't do it. It's like it would be crazy of any club to buy him. So we could be stuck with him. Listen, wish him well, speedy recovery. Hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later. And, maybe Arsenal can move him on. But yeah, sad times for Gabriel Jesus. Could be up to a year out, depending on the severity of it. Fully Gaza Fog here representing from Jamaica. Big up yourself. Kelly said, Curtis, you were a footballer, as you said. That means you should understand how hard it is to play full league. It surprises me how we mess players. Do you know what, though? Sometimes people message me this. They say, you played, so why are you so harsh on footballers and managers and things like that when you understand the dynamics of a club? It's because I know how clubs operate, even though I saw it at a much lower level. I've got friends who've played in the Premier League, and they tell me things. They leak out stories linking us to players that we're not going to sign to distract you. That I know how they manipulate the fans and how easy it is to manipulate the fans. Because, as I say all the time, you're addicted to your football club. You're addicted. Every day you will go online, during January especially, and you probably type in Arsenal transfer news daily on Twitter or on Google or somewhere. Who are we being linked with? Even a link that isn't from a good source, you will get that dopamine hit. If I went online right now and Arsenal were linked with Vinicius Jr., I'd get hyped. Even if it was my next door neighbour that had made the link up. I'd be hyped, even though I know it's not happening. They know how easy it is to manipulate us. And trust me, they have leaked that Zubimendi story to the media to calm the fan base down. Because there's people online saying, see, I told you. And if we beat Tottenham tomorrow, they'll think everything's rosy in the garden again. We've won the North London derby and we've just announced Zubimendi for 51 million. And they expect you to jump on the train again and start celebrating with them. Not me. Not me, bro. Zubimendi, talk to me about that in June. Come back to me in June and talk about Zubimendi. Until then, I'm not particularly interested. Because we got to deal with the here and now people. The power of now. Eckhart Tolle settings people. That's all I'm interested in when it comes to Arsenal. Who are we signing right now? I don't care about the Zubimendi deal. In June, I might get excited about that deal, but not right now. Big up Matt in the chat. He said he'll go to a Brazilian team after his injury. We won't get what we was offered before from Palmeiras. That story went under the radar. I think at the time, though, the only thing I will say, there was reports that Jesus didn't want to go back to Brazil. And also, could Palmeiras pay $250,000 a week? I think now, Jesus probably end up leaving this club for nothing, to be honest. I could see us terminating his contract or loaning him out. I don't think we'll get a penny for Gabriel Jesus. The way that a Palmeiras could pay his wages is by offsetting the transfer fee and saying, look, we'll give him to you for nothing. If you look at the moment, Manchester City apparently have said to Kyle Walker, you can go to AC Milan for nothing because of the respect that they've got for what he's done in his career at City. Because Milan are saying, we can't pay 10, 15 million for Walker and give him 200 grand a week, but we can give him 200 grand a week if there's no transfer fee. That's what will happen with Jesus. I don't think we'll get a penny for him. We'll help him recover, we'll get him fit, and he'll go for nothing, or he'll go on loan until the end of his contract. And that'll be game, set, and match. I don't think Jesus will play another minute of football for Arsenal in the first team. He'll go. He'll go. Unless he's out for so long that he comes back and the window's not open at the time. So, yeah, sad news for Jesus. Arsenal have to move on, of course, and bring in other players. 3,300 of you in the chat. Really appreciate the support. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. The numbers have been amazing at the moment. I wish it was under better circumstances. I said the other day, people, I haven't had a watch-along for a cup final for Arsenal since I've been on this channel. Not one. Not one. In these few years of doing this channel, I haven't had one. No Carabao Cup, no FA Cup. I haven't even seen Arsenal play at Wembley on a stream outside of a Community Shield game, which is basically a friendly. It's crazy. How are we not even touching finals when we're meant to be one of the best teams in the Premier League? Wild, wild things, people, being said at the moment as well by Arteta in the press conference, which we will get into shortly. A couple of transfer stories before we round up and get into waffle settings, which will probably be as painful as ever, people. It's back, people. Daily Dusan. Every January, like clockwork, Arsenal are linked with Dusan Vlahovic. I mean, please just sign him or deny that we want anything to do with him. The crazy thing about this situation, if you do a bit of research into the situation with Dusan Vlahovic, it actually sounds doable right now. This sounds like the first time that Vlahovic has ever been doable for Arsenal. When he was at Fiorentina, he wasn't interested. The whole time he's been at Juventus, he said, I want to stay. It's my dream club, new contract, blah, blah, blah. He's being heavily criticised by their fan base. He's refused to take a pay cut and sign a new deal. He's got 18 months left on his deal. And it sounds like Juventus, for the first time, are willing to get rid of him. Juventus are not having a great season. They're currently 5th. They're 14 points. 14 points behind Napoli, who are top of the league. Juventus are actually unbeaten this season, despite being 5th. 7 wins and 12 draws. Invincibles, but maybe not going to win the league. He's on 190k. Juventus offered him around 140k. He refused it. Basically, what is being said, Juventus are front runners for Kolo Muani from PSG. They're in talks to sign him. Loan with obligation to buy 45 million, Kolo Muani. What is being said is that if Kolo Muani goes to Juventus, Juventus are willing to let Dusan Vlahovic go. Now, Arsenal are saying loan with obligation, and apparently Juventus are willing to accept it, because if they get Kolo Muani, they don't have to pay till the summer. We get Dusan Vlahovic, we don't have to pay until the summer. So I want to ask the community, I'm going to get a poll out for this. They want 60 million euros for him, which is around 52 million pounds. All right, 52 million for Dusan Vlahovic. Buy now, pay later, Klarna business. Buy him now, pay in the summer. Would you sign Dusan Vlahovic now for 52 million pounds? Would you sign him? Are you of the thought process that we need a striker now, get him now? Or are you thinking, wait and get the right player? My thought process straight away says, if you're going to pay £52 million for Vlahovic, I'd rather pay £65 million for Osimhen. I think he's better. I'd rather pay £80 million for Gyökeres. I suppose you would say Vlahovic is better than Havertz as a striker, so he's better than what we've got. So maybe you think beggars can't be choosers, you've got to take him. At Fiorentina, he looked brilliant. At Juve, he doesn't look great. What would you do? I want to know what you guys think. Would you sign Dusan Vlahovic for 52 million? My thought process is Arsenal will probably only buy one striker because Havertz was stuck with it. So the problem you've got, we need a striker now, but if they get Vlahovic now, I think that wipes out any opportunity of going to get an Isak, a Gyökeres, or anybody else in the summer. So are you prepared to go without a striker to get a better one in the summer, or would you take Vlahovic now and just be done with it? The right answer is don't buy Vlahovic now, buy a better striker right now. Don't make excuses, get Osimhen, get Gyökeres, or get somebody of that ilk. But with Arsenal, they never really give you what you want, so there's a problem. Because if we go and buy Vlahovic, who's on 190 grand, he's going to want a pay rise because tax is higher in England than it is in Italy. So you've got to pay him over 200 grand. You've got an injured Jesus on 250, and you've got an out-of-form Havertz on 275. So there's no way Arsenal can then go, we'll go and get Isak for 100 million, or we'll go and get Gyökeres. This would be the striker. This will be the guy for the next 2 or 3 years. I personally am not convinced by him. I think there's better strikers than him available. I have not been that impressed by him at Juventus. I think he's very limited in what he can do. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Andy said Big C. He said, I watch Serie A consistently as I'm a Milan fan. This guy's missed plenty of Havertz chances this season. Absolute sitters. GJB said, at least trigger the Gyökeres release clause, and if he says no, he says no. Yeah, I mean, I suppose behind the scenes, maybe he's already said no. and then you're not going to trigger the release clause. Remember, we never triggered Sesko's release clause because he never said yes. So I suppose you would talk to the player before you talk to the club once you know there's a release clause there. But Dusan, for me, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced with this guy, man. At 60 million, to have Dusan and Havertz at 125 million between them and over $500,000 a week, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. But PR machine in motion for Kroenke, Portfolio FC, said Michael. We'll leave that poll up there for a little bit. The problem is Arsenal, they ask you the wrong question. The question is, what striker? What's the best striker you can get in this window? That should be the question. The question they're asking you is, take Dusan Vlahovic now or take nobody until the summer. And because you're so desperate for somebody, it makes you want to say, okay, we'll take Dusan then. Because we want somebody. We don't want to see Havertz up front anymore. So that's the issue. I think this season is fizzling out anyway. I would almost rather say, don't sign a striker if you're buying the wrong striker. I would actually probably rather... We've put up with enough pain. We're not going to win the league, in my opinion. We're not going to win the Champions League. I would rather you bought me an Isak in the summer than buy this guy in January. I'll put up with another few months of pain. We're already in pain anyway. So it's like crashing a car and the whole car's written off and the wing mirror's hanging on by a thread and someone smashes the wing mirror. It doesn't really make any difference. It's already a write-off. So for me, don't buy Dusan Vlahovic. I'm sorry. He's not that guy. He's gone to Juventus and proved he's not that guy. You know, I'll put up with 6 months of watching Havertz up front, missing sitters, and then get me a real striker in the summer. That's what I would do, but it's Arsenal, so who knows, people. As I said, if Kolo Muani goes to Juventus, loan with obligation, it looks like Vlahovic will be allowed to go on loan with an obligation. Let me tell you the biggest red flag ever imaginable, people. Ever imaginable. I do not rate Kolo Muani at all. I think he is so average, it's unbelievable. I wouldn't want him at Arsenal for 1 minute. Juventus are willing to let Dusan Vlahovic leave to bring in Kolo Muani. You can't get more of a red flag than that. Now, don't get me wrong, it is because of the contract. He's not willing to take a pay cut. But if Dusan was that good, you'd find a way to keep him. If you're getting rid of Dusan to bring in Kolo Muani, don't bring Dusan Vlahovic anywhere near this football club. Because Kolo Muani is a stretched out Eddie Nketiah. So I can't see a bigger red flag. Don't go anywhere near this guy. Don't go anywhere near him. Get a proper striker. We'll wait till the summer if we have to. We've waited long enough. What will annoy me is if we don't get Dusan and in the summer we end up with some average striker. And you've made us wait and still haven't got a proper striker in. So, and Arsenal do that sometimes. Vacay said, does Arteta deserve any more money? He doesn't deserve any more money at all. Spent $750 million and won 1 FA Cup. But as I said, if you're going to give the guy a new contract, then you've got to give him money and back him. If he's your guy, Josh Kroenke, then you've got to give Arteta dough and buy your way out of the problem. Jitesh said, beggars can't be choosers. I've had enough of Kai. And I get that. I do get that as well. Everlasting said, 1 FA Cup, set pieces, left backs, murals, dog plushes, huddles, crowd hyping, hair dye, no striker, Saka FC, and a Zinni book. What an era of football. You have nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. On yesterday's show, we actually did a review of the Win the Dog plush toy. It was an iconic moment. It really was. I had to lock it off because the reviews were just outrageous. Just quickly before we get into press conference reaction, waffle settings. Borussia Dortmund are being linked with a move for Alexander Zinchenko. Concrete talks have taken place with the player's management in the last few days. The 28-year-old is keen to leave Arsenal. The Gunners are open for a move of a loan with an obligation to buy of 20 million euros. Dortmund had already shown interest last summer. I just want to see how much that is in pounds. 20 million euros in pounds, 16.8 million. Paid 35 million for him, selling him for 16. I told you, all these players we buy, at least 50% loss when we come to selling them. I actually think Zinchenko will go somewhere else and have a decent career. I'll be totally honest with you. I think Zinchenko's a decent footballer. Some of you might think I'm absolutely going crazy with what I'm saying. I think he's a decent footballer. I think the problem is, you've played him at left-back for 2.5 years and he ain't a left-back. He got away with playing at left-back in a Man City team, the same Man City who won a Premier League with Fabian Delph at left-back. He will go to Dortmund, play in midfield and start cutting defences open. That league, most of them play a high line. They've got Gittins, who's rapid. They've got all these players. I bet you any money he goes to Dortmund and starts doing bits. I bet any money with the community he'll go there. Quick tempo. They'll put him in the 8. He's always been a decent passer. He'll do well. Playing him, Pep made him play. He played him at left back because Mendy was in prison, bro. He was not gonna. He would have never played at left back for Man City. But we got hyped. Oh my God, he won the league at left back for City. We'll play him at left back. Doesn't work like that, mate. They had Kevin De Bruyne and all them ballers. Was never going to work with Jorginho and Havertz and Eddie Nketiah, bro. So, listen, get him out, though. No disrespect to him. Get him out the club. We're not playing him in midfield, so it's a waste of time in being here. 20 million euros, you take it. You get the 150 grand a week, sorry. You get the wages off the books. So, another signing that ultimately didn't work, and we get less than 50% of what we paid. We paid 35 million, we get 16.8. He is injury prone as well. He is, let's be real. But at least he's got a book out, people, for us to remember him by. Jordan Evans said, what on earth is going to Arsenal? What on earth is Arsenal not making signings at all? You need a striker and make sure it's the right man. What's the point getting Dusan on loan if it doesn't work out for him without a striker? Season is over. Just in that article, by the way, with Sami Mokbel, where he announced that Zubimendi, Arsenal were basically signing him in the summer. Because I didn't open the full article, he basically said that due to the Gabriel Jesus injury, the club are now very actively seeking an attacking player. That absolutely just... that was like the check hook from Floyd Mayweather that he gave to Ricky Hatton. So I'm like, so what you're telling me is, if Gabriel Jesus hadn't done his ACL at the weekend, the club weren't actively seeking an attacking player. They were going to sit there and continue with the attacking players that we've got. And now Jesus has done his ACL. Josh is flying in. We're going to try and get somebody on loan and get a panic buy-in. It's absolutely crazy. Saka's been injured since December. We've got no right winger apart from Raheem Sterling that hardly ever plays. And they were going to sit through the whole of January and just announce Zubimendi and do nothing else. But now you're trying to panic buy. It's absolutely crazy. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. We should have signed 2 players in this window. We should have signed 2, never mind 1. But anyway, reactive FC, exactly, not proactive. Man City have won 4 titles in a row. They could easily say, do you know what, bad season. You've won 4 titles and a treble. They could have written off the season. Are they writing off the season? Man City are about to sign 3 players in one window. 2 defenders and a striker. A striker that would start for Arsenal. They're going to bench him as Haaland's backup for 60 million. And people wonder why the frustration is with this ownership. Mamouche is going to go to Man City and sit on the bench to back up Haaland for 60 million. And yet he would start for Arsenal. And we're sitting here going, oh, now Jesus has snapped his knee in half. We'll go and get somebody on loan if we can. Let's get into it, people. It is that time. Arteta wants the best ever Emirates atmosphere. You ain't going to get it. I tell you that right now, my friend. You are not going to get it. You can ask for it, but you ain't getting it. Because I tell you now, this fan base are losing their patience. I lost mine a long time ago with this guy. You ain't going to get the best atmosphere at the Emirates, so let me tell you that. The only thing that might help it is if Liverpool lose to Forest tonight. But if they don't, You are not getting it, bro. You are not getting the best atmosphere. Every word from Mikel's pre-match presser. I can't guarantee you will get every word because I will skip if he starts waffling. On the latest on the Gabriel Jesus injury, we now know more, and it's not looking, I'm assuming they meant to put looking good at all. We need to review with one more specialist, so we will probably have better information this afternoon. I mean, people saying it's a suspected ACL. They will probably announce that later today. The Cone Man, people. The Cone Man. I thought he was going to lead us to glory, but maybe he is just Pep's Cone Man after all, people. On whether it's an ACL injury, he said, I don't want to confirm anything until we've had the final report this afternoon. It's the doctor's job to do that. We were very worried straight away after the game, and we are very worried today. Get well soon, Gabriel Jesus. Whether it could be a season-ending injury, he said, let's wait until the test. The man just literally told you in the last question, I will tell you when I know, and they're asking another one. On whether any other players could be available, we have one more training session this afternoon. Copy and paste, he says it all the time. Whether Calafiori could be fit, his thing is not too much, but again, we need another day or two. Yeah, same answer. If Jorginho is okay, he was cramping up when we were playing extra time. Timber was exactly the same. We have a few. That's good that Timber was only cramp, not a major injury. So you'd expect Timber to be available, but just whether he starts him or not. I'm not surprised Jorginho's cramping, mate. He's 57 years of age. And if Jesus' injury changes our transfer plans, he said, my answer doesn't change. It remains the same. Well, I suppose he's dispelling what Sammy Mockbell said in his thing, saying that we've reacted now Jesus is injured. We are actively looking in the market to improve the squad. That's been the same since day one. It would be naive not to do that because it's always an opportunity to evolve the team and improve the squad, especially with the circumstances. So yes, we are looking and we are trying. Let's see what we are able to do. Still don't get why we didn't go for Kvara, man. That one drives me insane. Nyamin Waffles, sipping syrup. Arteta's 16 mil makes him KSE's shield blasting man music. We were willing to pay 51 million for Zubimendi. Now, why didn't we pay 57 million to get your boy Kvara out of Napoli? You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, man. Big up Sam Bond with the super sticker. On transfers not being in our hands, we have to recruit a player. There are 3 parties. You have to agree on that. We have our limitations like any other club, so we can do what we can do. Skip it. I don't want to hear it. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're always talking about limitations, PSR, and what we can't do. Talk about what we can do, bro. That's what I want to hear. On the derby, it's probably the nicest game of the season to watch because of the atmosphere, because of what it means. What it means to us and everybody involved. This is something that is in our hands. Let's create the best atmosphere we have played at the Emirates. You ain't going to get it, bro. On the social media abuse directed at our players, he said it's incredible. We really have to do something about it because accepting that and hiding this, I think, has terrible consequences. It's something we really have to eradicate from the game because it's so simple and so dependent on the result of an action, and there is no other industry like this. On December the 27th at home, we won 1-0. Havertz scored a goal. The whole stadium sang the Waka Waka song. That was 20 days ago. Where is the perspective? Listen, I totally agree with the abuse, and I said this yesterday. You got to be a scumbag to abuse a player online. But the fans aren't interested in a goal he scored on December the 27th. They're interested in what he did 2 days ago. Or was it 3 days ago? 2 days ago against Manchester United. They don't deserve the abuse. But, fans get booed. Fans boo players, sorry. Whether this is his toughest period with injuries, he said, this is more challenging than we've had. I don't want to hear the excuses. He didn't recruit properly. On his respect for Ange, we don't respect him. On the rebuilding our home form after 2 straight defeats, said for sure that it was a long period. It was something that gave us so much confidence. The fact we lost 2 games in the manner we did was painful. On if supporters know how difficult it is to win the league. The narrative from the beginning is that top 4, 5 or 6 because of what we have done historically. We now have the ambition to win it, but this has not changed regardless of what happens. I feel like what he's almost saying is the aim was to get top 4. Now I'm challenging for the league and you guys still aren't happy with it. Times have changed, bro. Will you do a watch along for Liverpool Forest? I'm tempted to do one. I'm not definite. Keep the notification bell on. if you're subscribed, I'm tempted to do one. I've never really done Forest in a game that doesn't involve Arsenal, but with it being Liverpool and they are the team we are still trying to chase, I may do one for that. I'm out, but if I can get back on time, I might do it. I might do it. Get that stinking fraud Arteta out of my club. Thank you for the super sticker. What a name for a YouTube account that is. On supporters knowing how difficult it is, yeah, I've read that. And if we need a new if we have a need for a new striker, he said we have to believe that if we bring someone in, it has to make us better. I mean, I'm not being funny, bro. You're two strikers. One of them, Havertz, can't hit a barn door. And Jesus has potentially got an ACL. You don't need to be that good to be better than what we've got. Let's be real. The game is at Forest tonight, yeah. And if it's in that position in particular, he said it's in any position. We have other issues as well. So he doesn't want to say. And if winning tomorrow can lead to a good feeling, most obvious answer in the world. Yeah, if we win, we'll have a good feeling. On a message to our LA supporters, he said they have our condolences. They are suffering a lot. When you look at what is happening at the time, and how long this is extended for, how many people are affected. We obviously have our ownership there and a lot of friends and people who are big Arsenal supporters because we have been over there for a few years. It's really sad. It's time to understand the situation. And listen, big up everyone who's affected by what's happening in LA. I've been there the last 2 years. Great place. Some great people there. And I hope everyone's safe, man. It's crazy what's going on. On supporting Havertz, it's not about the individual. I think there's a big lesson to learn from us, how we have conducted, reacted and supported the players when they've been through a difficult time. I'm skipping it. I'm making the most of the break in February. Obviously, we've got a 10-day break now because we're going to miss the FA Cup weekend. He said, we are looking at that now. Okay, the FA Cup is gone. How can we optimise the situation in the best possible? We're looking at options. Get to Dubai and get a gold stake and see if it can save us. On the importance of a break during a packed calendar, he said, we know that we're involved in all competitions. We have to prepare. On how he brings perspective to a player during a difficult time, he said, when you look at the last 10 years, any player in Europe, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, had expected goals and finishing qualities. There is not a single player that has been on their expected goals. It's very volatile. I'm sorry, mate. I'm not hiding behind that. There are players that are closer to it than way off it, you know? And if his role has had to change since Edu's resignation, he said, no, it's completely fielded by Jason Ato, who we've never really seen. On changing our approach when facing a team that sticks to their guns, he said, no, at the end of the day, every team in certain phases, some of them insist more than others, but in general, every team has clear intentions. Which players talk about the meaning of the North London derby to the younger players? Said, we have a few. We spoke with Ethan and Miles, as well as a lot of staff. And whether he'll do something special to boost the motivation, he said, I'm not there yet. It's better, especially when you've been knocked out of a competition, to play as quickly as possible, and that is positive. Well, they better win tomorrow, people. My thought is I might go live again tomorrow at 2 o'clock and preview the game properly. Look at the team lineup and things like that. So, yeah, watch along tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'll do a 2 o'clock show probably to preview the game. And I may do a watch along for Forest against Liverpool tonight. Keep the notification bell on for that. Hit the like button on this. Subscribe if you haven't already. I did put a pre-recorded video out earlier on regarding Zubimendi. So go back and watch that if you haven't had a chance to catch that part in the stream. Go back and watch the OGs that we did earlier as well. Although the first 5 minutes, we had difficulty with the microphones and echo, but we got there in the end. Great show. Big up to everyone for the support. Appreciate the great numbers. Enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully I may be back in time for the Forest-Liverpool game. If not, back tomorrow afternoon. Take care, everyone. Bless.